Welcome to the Brian Parrish Show. Happy Friday, everybody. So excited for this show today. I'm living out a childhood dream. We're going to be bringing on Brutus, the Barber, beefcake, WWE Hall of Famer and legend, here to bring some stories, wrestling stories, and just talk some old school wrestling, man. Back when wrestling was great. So just looking forward to having Brutus on. We're going to see what topics he'll want to cover. I'm going to try to have him talk about Andre the Giant, obviously Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Kurt Hennig, all those guys. Hopefully he'll want to talk about anything and everything. But this legend, this Hall of Famer, has been through it all, man. And I'm just so excited he's here today. This, like I said, every guy my age right now is got goosebumps. Look at that. They got goosebumps. They've been texting me all day. Oh my God, I can't believe you got Brutus on. No way, bro. So this is great. Oh, and Brutus is actually in the green room. So I want to bring him on right now from Tampa, Florida, weighing 250 pounds, Brutus, the Barber, beefcake.
That's more like 285, bro.
285?
Well, no, it's 280. 280.
280?
Yeah.
Okay.
Too much good life, but
Well, Brutus, man, I'm blessed and so grateful to have you on today. A lot of my buddies, like I was just saying, have been hitting me up. I love the bunny ears you got.
nice.
You got a great wingman right there, Brutus.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
But if you want, I'd love to just start with at the beginning of the career, but then in between, just have stories come along the way. Because people like me, like we're kids. We didn't really get to like the behind the scenes stuff and all that stuff, and just the gimmicks, and we loved it all, man. We, like me, I was wrestling everything I could. I wrestled pillows. I wrestled everything I could from as a kid, and like when you started out with Hulk Hogan, right? As in the industry, and then you went to the Dream Team. If you could start even with those two parts, and then if you have stories in between, we'd love to hear them.
Well, how about a pre-story story? I was a baseball player.
Were you really?
Had I not been wrestler, I'm sure it would have been playing pro ball somewhere, because I had good people, a good behind me that would have helped me go, and I had talent. I played ball with Wade Boggs. I'm sure you know, right?
Oh yeah. I actually played college baseball.
Hall of Famer Wade Boggs, Tampa boy. We played together, and I was 11, playing on the All-Star team. His dad was one of the coaches and stuff.
That's awesome.
And when I was 11, Hogan's about 14. He's about 3.5 years older than me. So when I was about 9, I went with some of my buddies down to our rival league. It was called Interbay Little League. We were called Little League, and that was our big rival. And we went down there because I heard all about this kid that would hit the ball like out of the freaking over the trees that were beyond the fence. But he was like too big to be playing. And turns out that was Terry. His team was called the Little Generals. And he was so big at 12 years old, over 200 pounds, 6 foot or something. He was like he was bigger than the coaches and everything. And he used to hit the ball. I saw him hit the ball that must have went at least 350, 400 feet. But if he didn't hit it over the fence, he couldn't even run to first base hardly.
Wow.
I hit the fence with the ball, a line drive, pow, snap, bam, hit the fence. Kid picked up the ball, threw him out at first base because he was so big and clumsy, couldn't even run to first base. He hated running. That's why he would just like either hit a home run or whatever or not. But
that's awesome.
Oh
what
my
position
God!
Did you play, Brutus?
And then he got into rock and roll and everything. But I was, I started lifting weights, high school and everything, and just wound up hooking up with him. He his friends. He asked everybody, "Hey, you want to be a wrestler? You want to be a wrestler? You want to be a wrestler?" Everybody's like, "Are you crazy? Be a wrestler? You're nuts!" And everybody said no way. And then you know, he came to me. I said, yeah, let's go for it. You know, what the heck? And
Heck
and
yeah.
we did. And we took off around the country for a couple of years, and then we split up and went our separate ways. But you know, I had to get some experience, and he was doing his thing in different parts of the country, and it all worked out great. You know,
Oh yeah.
got to do all the territories: Pensacola, North Carolina, the Georgia, the Louisiana, the North Carolina, the South Carolina, the Tennessee, the Minnesota, all the territories and stuff. You know?
Did you have a favorite area you liked, Brutus?
Yeah, Pensacola.
Pensacola. Now, was the Navy base there still when you were in
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Pensacola?
no, it's always been there. It always will be there. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Pensacola Naval Air Station is one of
Oh yeah.
this
I was in
country
the Navy, so
big time. Yeah, sweet, big time bases there. Everybody loves Pensacola, man. That's
for sure. And military guys, we love when you guys come and wrestle there too. We get wild and crazy for you guys, and you guys rock it out for us all the time too.
I used to hit all the air bases out in California and Arizona
Okay.
back years ago, though. Talking about beginning of 2000 and stuff.
Oh yeah, I went in late '90s, like just after high school. What position did you play in baseball, by the way, Brutus?
I was a catcher and a pitcher.
I had a feeling. I was
Yep.
first and third, so I had a feeling.
One catcher.
First and third.
Yeah.
Like Gino.
Yeah. I liked first base too. I played all-star game, played first. But I was a long, skinny guy. I pitched a one-hit shutout when I was 11.
Heck yeah.
Almost a
That's
perfect.
awesome.
I wasn't even the best. I wasn't the number one pitcher. We had our pitcher from our team was the best pitcher in the league. We murdered everybody. They had the 10-run rule, the mercy rule. We never played more than 5 innings ever.
That's awesome.
We killed them.
Knock it off. Sorry about that. I apologize.
That's
We
okay.
got to baby, go kiss daddy. I'm a carrot, go kiss daddy. Go ahead, go kiss him. Here you go kiss daddy.
Oh, you got one too? Okay.
Baby.
Yeah, cutie.
Does that kiss?
Come on.
Cutie.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
Kiss him.
Knock it off.
Daddy.
Yeah.
No. Daddy. Oh,
Sorry about that, Brutus. I apologize.
No.
keep on, John. Go kiss
But
But
daddy.
no, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, like Hogan went and trained like in Japan, right?
Yeah, well, he started going to Japan in 1980. I was in Oregon right before that.
Oregon. Oh wow. Okay.
And with Stan the Man Stasiak, former WWF world champion, right, like before Bruno and stuff. And so I was out there for a year. And Kurt Hennig had his first match out there. I actually had his first match with him out there in Oregon. He was breaking the business. His dad brought him out there, and
Well, he was less than perfect.
Well,
Yeah.
I can't wait to actually get to that match between you and Mr. Perfect at WrestleMania, but that's in a little bit.
Well, but anyway, yeah, but it was a good year for me out there, learning a lot. And then Hulk got me hooked up with New Japan Pro Wrestling, who he was going for. And then I started going to Japan in 1980, and then kept going all through the up into the mid 90s, basically. Tokyo Dome, 90-some thousand people or something crazy.
How was that?
90, and that was in late 93. Oh, it was insane. But there was a newer Japanese crowd into the mid 90s, because in the early 80s the crowd was quiet. Japanese crowd was the traditional crowd, and they were like quiet, and it was like, so it was real weird. It was pretty weird wrestling in the young matches, but when they got into the older, to the main guys and the big matches, then people were cheering and stuff. But by the 90s, the crowds were going crazy and cheering like in the U.S., but it was different.
But
What are you doing?
Go kiss daddy.
That's awesome.
Oh, go.
Kiss daddy.
Now, can I ask you about something about the Tokyo trip? Now, was that a trip? So someone wanted me to ask you about a trip, you guys coming back from Tokyo with Andre the Giant, about having a poop or something on the plane. Was that a trip when Andre the Giant and you guys were all coming back from Tokyo, and like he had to take a poop or something?
Well, you got to understand, Andre really was 7'4", and weighed 600 pounds. So there's no bathroom, not even on a 747. And in the back of that plane, there was a big bathroom too. Still wasn't big enough for him to go to the bathroom. So basically, and that's, you're talking 12, 14-hour trips.
Oh yeah.
He drink 2 or 3 bottles of wine while he's on the plane and never have to pee.
Wow.
You know, he was amazing.
And too much sushi.
But he would always kind of have to time his trips out. So before, this is a 2-part story. Before he got to the plane, he'd have to take care of his business, because on the plane, no bathrooms. So, yeah, one time wasn't able to take care of his business, and then in the middle of the flight, everybody in the plane's asleep. He's in the back. The flight attendants, they don't know what to do. They're like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?" And several other Americans and stuff. So we were kind of in the back, right by where they were and stuff. And they wound up having to get a big trash bag that they would put all the other stuff into and everything, and kind of string it up in the flight attendant station. And you have to understand, a 747, they had a lot of room way in the back of the plane there for preparing meals and carts. They had an elevator back there. So they strung this thing up and they pulled the curtains and everything. And Andre's back in the back there. And all of a sudden, you hear a sound like, and we're all going just on the floor, laughing. Some of the people that are in the back got a whiff of the smell from the shit, and a couple of guys were throwing up and shit. People were gagging, running towards the front of the plane, and we're all on the floor and laying in the seats and stuff, like, dying, laughing. He just going to town in that bag for like 10 minutes, and then finally, just grabs. I guess he just took the bag and kind of closed it up, and then the flight attendants came carefully into the back there and got the bag and put it in another bag and put it in another bag and sent it on the elevator down to the bottom of the plane to get it out of there. But it was just the funniest, unbelievable sounds that were coming out of there, and just the people faces and stuff when they heard the sound, and when the smell of that poop comes forward into the plane.
That had been epic. What a story forever. That's awesome. I wish I would have been there just to experience it. I probably would have passed out from the gas. But
Hotel, the mama's son, how Andre used to poop on the bed.
Didn't even, not in the bed. Didn't even phase Andre. He just went back to the front of the plane, to first class. Ooh. This is why, boss. Come on.
Good for him. Was he all sweaty when he was done? Was he all sweaty?
No, he wasn't all sweaty, but he's like, "Come on, boss, let's go have some wine."
How was he? Like, he must have been cool to like hang with, huh?
If he liked you, you got along with him. He was cool to hang with. Certain guys he just didn't like, and he let them know it pretty much right away and stuff. He just didn't have time for people.
That's awesome. Now, since we're on kind of in Oregon and Andre, can I ask you about a story with Buddy Rose in Oregon teasing Andre the Giant with a shit in his hand?
Oh my God. Yeah, Oregon. Don Owen.
Andre in a lot of shit, it seems like here. Sorry. Anyway.
A lot of poop. The guys love the poop.
Poop stories are all.
They're great.
Don Owen was a promoter, and he had his and one of his brothers promoted Owen. And every year we'd have a big bunch of shows around the territory, and Andre would come in. We'd do big shows in Oregon and Seattle and all over. So we were in where was champion? Well, we were actually in Washington, just across the border, Olympia, Washington, across the border. It's a big show, and we're all inside. And Andre's playing cards with Stan and some of the guys and stuff. And Buddy was always trying to steal the show and to get attention. So I don't know where he got this poop from, but it was the weirdest looking. It was almost like it looked like a white chocolate candy bar. It wasn't dark. It was light.
Maybe
It
it
was a
was.
giant. It was poop though. No, you could. It was a just 8-10 inch long turd in his hole, and he comes walking in, and guys are like running and everything, and he comes walking in. He's walking around, and finally he walks over by where Andre's playing cards, and he takes it and he just puts it right up in front of Andre, and Andre just looks at him and goes, "Boss, get that shit out of my face." And then and Buddy's thinking it's all fun and games, and he's he's running around. And finally gets the turd, and everybody's running for the hills trying to get away from him, and he puts the shit away, and then boom, and we start the matches, and everything's cool, and then next thing they're having the battle royal. We're all in there, and so Buddy's in the ring. And the match starts, and next thing you know, Andre grabs Buddy and just puts him down in the slams him, or just puts him down in the center of the ring, face down though. And he's basically just sitting almost on top of Buddy, and his Andre's hands, I mean, they're like a mitt. They were so big. His thumb was like that, as big as mine is twice. That's how big his thumb was. He took his thumb and went up inside Buddy's tights, jammed his thumb up Buddy's butt. And Buddy was screaming like a little girl. Ah! And everybody's going crazy in the ring. We're all like holding on each other, trying to cover our faces so the people in the crowd, everybody just laughing. And Andre's sitting on Buddy, and Buddy's squealing and screaming and kicking and everything. And finally, he pulls his thumb out of Buddy's ass, and then Buddy rolls over, and Andre takes his thumb and goes across his face.
Dirty Sand?
Oh my God. And then Buddy rolls out of the ring, screaming and kicking, and runs back to the dressing room. And we were just all losing it. Everybody, the promoters kind of mad a little bit at us, but it was not, what are we supposed to do? It's Andre, so we got the match back in track, and we had the match, and it was all good. But
that's awesome. He kind of got to do kind of what he wanted in a way, huh?
He did whatever he wanted. It's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I was lucky. For some reason, he liked me, and I was with him a lot in Japan, in different places, in hotels, bus trips, all kinds of stuff, trains, on the train, and never had any issues with him.
Well, I can see why he likes you, Brutus. You seem like a real cool person, like good people, so he probably knew that,
I hope that, he saw that there was a good man inside there.
For sure. Now, is there a cookie story you can tell me about?
Cookie. Oh my God. Well,
I could do Andre stories, though. I don't want to take it away from you, but
no. Well, here's a quick Andre story that preempts the airplane story. We stayed at a hotel called Kao Plaza. It was like 85 stories.
Oh, wow.
Huge buildings. So it's one of these buildings that's built on an earthquake foundation.
Oh, wow.
Gigantic springs. The whole foundation is so the building can move and won't crumble down. I've been in typhoons and earthquakes in this building, and been up in the 80th floor, like Hogan's room, and the whole the chandeliers doing this on the inside of the room. The whole room is just going back and forth and stuff. And so the bathrooms, obviously he couldn't sit on a toilet or anything. I mean, like that. So he would go in and crap in the bathtub.
Wow.
In these bathrooms, they didn't have a real full size bathroom like American.
What do you put
big,
sheet in there?
big
Like,
tub.
take the sheet
No,
and
he
put it in the
just,
trash?
he just,
Oh,
he just
I
crapped
can't
right.
can't imagine what he had to go through being the size he was.
Oh my God. And it was like, I mean, just, it was, he'd be like, I don't know how long he'd wait, save up for a week, how much, but he ate some, the guy's 600 pounds. He's crapping 10 pounds of crap out, probably.
Yeah.
And so, boom, he leaves the room. We're heading out. They got the little mama sans room, about 4 foot nothing tall. And they do the maids and stuff. So there's like 2 or 3 of them that come in and run around the room and clean and everything. So the bathroom door was shut. So they came into the room and they smelled. They were like going, what's the matter? What's going on? And one lady opened the door and fainted. She saw the tub and just fainted. And then the other lady came running up to her to see if she was okay, and then she fainted. And then the third one called down to they called the hazmat team.
That's awesome.
All the hazmat team, and they showed up in little white suits with a full oxygen mask on, the whole thing.
making that.
Like and every kind of the little mama sans to wake up, and they finally get them the thing, and they cart them out and everything, and I guess, oh my God. And the fire department, they had all these.
Oh, come on.
They had all these.
No,
they didn't.
Tell the cookie story. Let's get off poop.
Poop's fun too. Okay, but yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Curtis Iakia lived in Hawaii forever, but he loved to do acid, and back in the 70s and stuff, there was quite a few guys, the Samoans, different guys that hung around, and they used to go to Hong Kong and on these world tours and stuff. But he had this chemist, part was like his nephew, and he was a chemical scientist or whatever. And he made this thing in the lab, and it was called the cookie. I don't know, it wasn't really like a cookie, but it was made out of this really, really strong, good acid. And Curtis would say, "Hey, you want to, if he knew you, if you were cool, he'd say, 'Come on, brother, come, hit the cookie.' So you come over and he'd hold the cookie out, and you hit the cookie on your tongue, boom. Maybe a half hour later, you were like flying through the sky and stuff. We'd be at the beach all day, just laying in the sand, just tripping, and it was just fun laughing though, just laughing at our people and laughing at the birds and laughing at the waves and laughing at everything. And so I mean, it was just like it was a real honor, for him to come up and say, "Hey, come over, hit the cookie," because that was reserved for for certain people, the upper echelons,
Special people like you. That's awesome.
But all the guys in the room tripping on the cookie.
Oh. Okay, jeez.
What about the guys?
That's
the best part.
We were all in Australia.
And now who's all? Who are you with?
I was with Atha, Curtis, Tonga, and me and Tonga, I think. So we all said we'll meet at like 5:30 because we're leaving at like 6:30 for the airport. We're gonna fly all day to Perth, and then we wrestle the next night in Perth.
Man, that's awesome. So
we go to Atha's room or Curtis's room, and we're all there, and we hit the cookie like big time. And within like 30 minutes, we're all so messed up we can't even like stand up. We're all like laying on the beds and laying on the floor, laughing at each other, just doing stuff. And came time we're supposed to go downstairs to get on this bus and go to the airport and shit. And we couldn't get out the door. We couldn't get the door open of the room. We were all just going funny, laughing. So finally, we got the door open and we got our bags and we got to get down the hallway and get to the elevator. And we finally get in the elevator and we're all in the elevator laughing and just carrying on. And nobody pushed the button. So we just sat in the elevator. And then finally we realized we got to push the button. So we go downstairs.
How long were you guys in that spot until you realized you didn't hit the button?
Oh
How
my
long?
God. We finally snapped out of it. Like everybody came to a little bit. We got downstairs because we had to at least show some semblance of, to get on the bus and stuff. So we finally all get on the bus and that's how we were all day. We just hit the cookie again and again. We're on a plane for like 6 hours, just laughing. I'm sitting in the back on top of a box in the service station. It wasn't we flew a big plane for one little short leg, and then we flew a little plane all the way across Australia, which really sucked because it was all roomy. The other plane was real small. I'm sitting in the very back on a thing of a box of peanuts, and I'm got the peanuts, and I'm throwing them at everybody. All the boys, I'm hitting everybody, pelting them with peanuts for 6 hours, and the flight attendants finally they just gave up trying to, reel us in. But we weren't too loud or boisterous, but we just couldn't stop laughing, and we're drinking, we're doing everything, but we didn't get in trouble. Everybody we're having good fun.
Yeah, nothing wrong with having a good time.
Nothing, that's hurting anybody or nothing, and just.
Sounds like a great time to me.
I don't know about that beefcake. He's too much.
I bet you party with big guys like Andre the Giant, Samoans. Like, holy cow! I can't blame you for not being able to keep up. You probably were pretty good.
I did keep up, brother. I was right there from
I figured you did.
Rocky Johnson, the Rock's father.
Rock's dad, yep.
80 out in 79 and 80 in Oregon. And The Rock was 5-6 years old, running around ringside, just a little kid. Was that pretty wild?
It is.
Rocky and Maivia's daughter, who Rocky married, was in the crowd with little Rocky running around ringside. There was some fun times right there.
I bet. Now, was Roman Reigns born yet then too? Because I'm sure he was a little kid, probably.
Probably not.
That Samoan family just runs deep.
He wouldn't. Yeah, because that would.
No, I was just curious.
80 to, that's 40. That's 45 years ago.
Wow. A lifetime ago, it feels like, right?
For quite a while, but the original Samoans, Af and Secret, had the guys that helped train me in the business chain, gave me some of my early training. When I started.
That's awesome. Now you got some good training when you teamed up with Greg Valentine as well, right? That's when you were kind of honing in your skills as well with the Valentine, when you guys became the dream team.
Big time. Greg was second generation. His dad was a wrestler, and Greg was very seasoned wrestler by then. And so I followed his leads, and learned extremely fast. And we became a fantastic tag team. We blew everybody away. We just beat everybody up because Greg, Greg doesn't want to sell. I ain't selling either. So we just beat everybody up. What nothing I can do about it. The Rougeos, the Killer Bees, these guys, that guys, but we didn't really beat them up. But
I know what you mean.
we had fun. We had good fun in the ring, and Greg took 20 minutes to even get it warmed up. So all our matches were always 30, 40-minute matches. It was none of
Really?
this match BS. Our 30 minutes minimum every night. 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. You know.
You now, what I remember, like you guys were one of the top 5 tag teams I think ever. Um, but my favorite of all time was the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, and I was hoping that you guys would have a match with them one day. Uh, Did it
Yeah.
ever happen?
Nah, not really. No.
No. Dang, that would
We
have been sweet.
we had some matches with Sheik and Volkov and stuff
Okay.
that were actually pretty good. I mean, the best matches were with the Bulldogs. We
Yeah.
worked with them.
You guys lost the title stem at Mania, right?
We dropped the belts to them at Mania. You know, we had been spending 8 months trying to get them ready for the belts, to take the belts, and they should have just been smart enough to realize that they really weren't really ready for it, and left the belts on us, because the baby faces can chase the heels forever. Everybody's going to come out every night to see the good guys win the belts, be the champions and everything, beat the bad guys up, blah, blah, blah. And we slip out of there, slip on a banana peel and boom, boom, boom. But we don't lose the belt.
Yeah.
And then, and they didn't, they screwed up the concept you get. Bulldogs couldn't talk. You had Lou Albano who wasn't there half the time. So they didn't have a real manager, a mouthpiece a lot of the times. So it just didn't. There wasn't a great chemistry for those guys to be at the time.
I agree with you.
The captain and stuff, and
Yeah. I was disappointed, honestly. I was a disappointing match for me as a kid. I was like, man, because I loved you guys, you and Greg. I thought you were a great tag team, and I would have rather have seen you guys lose to like the Killer Bees, because I even like the Killer Bees or the Rock and Roll Express. Or wait, no, not with what's the one with Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty? Yeah, yeah.
Sean, yeah. We work with them when they were young and up and coming, trying to get them ready for prime time. There was a lot of teams.
And the tag team division was great back in your day. It sucks now, but
yeah, boy, Legion of Doom. You had Barbarian and Warlord. Jesus Christ, they're monsters. Warlord was gigantic, 330, 6'7", 6'8", whatever, 330 pounds. Just monstrous. Like the legs, everything. Tugboat and Earthquake.
Oh yeah.
We had big guys. You had Bundy.
You did.
One-man gang. Just, I mean, you got 400-pound guys all over the place. I was a 260-pound guy. I was a lightweight.
But you were buff. You were beefcake, man.
6'4", man. 260. I was a little guy.
Now you guys beat, I think, Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo, didn't you, for the titles?
Belts, to take the belts in Philadelphia.
Yeah, so Barry Windham fought. Look, so I'm born and raised here in Newport Richey, Florida, and he used to come wrestle over here locally all the time. So I like them too, but it was cool to see you guys, like the 4 of you guys go head to head. That was awesome.
They had the belts, and then him and Mike Rotundo, and then he screwed us big time. He dropped the belt and he quit. So we had already had two months worth of rematches booked with them all over the territories, and he just quit. So they had to go. I have no idea. Didn't tell us. Never gave us any warning. Just disappeared. Just went home. And Mike Rotundo was just standing there going, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh, Barry Windham did. Oh.
Spivey tried to take his place. I love Danny, but it's hard. You can't just throw somebody into a spot like that. So, it ruined, kind of messed up our whole deal, because we're starting out. We're supposed to have, this 2-3 month run with them chasing us, trying to get the belts back, but they don't get the belts back. And then boom, boom, boom. Now suddenly we don't got any opponents. And then that's when we had to get the Bulldogs and stuff. They tried to throw the Bulldogs in there and get us to prepare them to be able, because they were good kids, great wrestler, good hands, but not a good tag team.
Yeah.
And their style, they're still working Japanese English style, not American style, not working the crowd, working to the crowd. You know, like me and Greg, I was out there doing the, you know, with my bow tie and, you know, strutting around the ring, and we were showing off, or, you know, everything. The Bulldogs were just all business. They're just
Yeah.
no personality, to no charisma to the crowd. So we had to kind of try to slow them down, teach them how to have a little more charisma in the ring to get with the people and stuff. And so they, you know, and then eventually, you know, they did, and they caught on, and we had, you know, we had fantastic matches with them, with everybody. Great matches.
Did you face the Heart Foundation at all, Brutus?
Not. We didn't really work with the Heart Foundation, me and Greg, because they were heels back then, and we were heels.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
we did Sheik and Volkov, some matches out in California, and we had, and everybody completely couldn't believe the match we were having with Sheik and Volkov. The people were like cheering for us, like we were good guys, because Volkov, they just had that, you know, that Middle Eastern thing going on with, and Volkov with the Russian thing going on. You know, Sheik, Persia, #1. You know, Persia, best people, my Persian people. You know, right, Nikolai? Yeah, and hit Nikolai. And the people, they hated him so bad that it made it. We were in the ring with them, and they started beating on me. I went down. I'm like going, ah, and the people were going crazy cheering for us.
That's awesome.
And I had just stuck a cigar in the guy's eye to win the belt.
That's awesome.
And
Now who decides, like, you and Greg splitting up? Like, who does, like, Vince McMahon come to you like a few months ahead of time, or do they just kind of throw this at you guys all of a sudden, kind of type of thing? Or
they didn't really come to us ahead of time. WrestleMania 3, we were split up at, there wasn't a whole lot of forethought. And then they hung this Barber gimmick on me thing. Now you're the Barber, after the match with Piper, and I cut Adrian's hair. Piper gave me the thing. Yeah, you cut, Brutus. We had a little thing. I was supposed to work with Adrian. Adrian quit, left the territory.
oh wow,
Yeah, he went to Newfoundland and New Brunswick, and he was up in up the Maritimes and stuff. Well, I guess that's where he ran off the road and died in a car.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of obstacles kind of happen throughout your career. Just it seemed like all the time. It was like you always had roadblocks, but you know what? You overcome them. You persevered. Because you to a lot of us, you're like the true underdog for a lot of us. You know, you are, because you were kind of people like I read stuff that says, oh, well, Brutus was handed this because his ratio with Hogan, but you know what? You earned everything. Like you might, you earned it. You worked your ass off. You honed your skills. You didn't take it for granted. You're a professional, and you're just like the true underdog. We're all like all of us everyday men. We're like beaten down every day by the society and the system, but yet we still overcome it. And that's kind of how we relate to you, as like you're the real underdog man.
Those good words, my friend, and it's really true. I came from a no background, wrestling, no family, boom, 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 and fought my way and clawed my way to the top, to the World Tag Team Champions, and great main events and WrestleManias, and working a bunch of WrestleManias, and working all kinds of like the Macho Man Zeus SummerSlam match.
Yes, I was going to get to that. I'm going to get to that. I want to before that one though. I want to get to. So what's your favorite WrestleMania moment?
Well, WrestleMania moment. Well, I got to tell you, coming out on Piper's match in that building, there's 100,000 people. They say there's 93,000 official whatever ticket sales, but trust me.
Was this a Sky Dome?
No. This is in Michigan there.
Oh, Michigan, WrestleMania 3. Sorry, WrestleMania 3. Hogan Giant.
100,000 people. Every part of this building, every walkway had people standing in it. And the sound, there was so much, the people yelling and screaming and stomping their feet. Literally, the whole building was shaking. It was shaking. And I came out and then on Piper's match, and man, and the thing and then Piper put the sleeper, and he got his hand raised, and we're celebrating, and the crowd's going wild, and it's just standing there in that moment. It was just so surreal, and Piper's looking at me. I'm looking at him, man, going, "It's badass, brother."
I love Roddy.
Yeah. And I mean, it was just a crazy moment. And then the next thing, I'm trying to cut Adrian's hair, and it's so greasy, nasty, scummy that the little shaver things wouldn't work at all. They just were going, stop. And I got him to bring me some scissors, and I got some scissors. I started cutting his hair, and then finally I went back to one of these little things. I trying to figure it out if I hit it right by his scalp at just the right angle, I might be able to get some of the hair. So I finally am starting to be able to shave some of his head and stuff. And it was like panic stricken because I never used this stuff in the ring on some sweaty guy's hair. I never did it before. There was no planning. There was no practice. There was no warm up. It was just get out there and wing it.
I love it. Improvisation. That's the type of acting I like, is improv. Get, helping you set each other up and make each other look good.
Right there, buddy. And just so many people that the building was shaking. You're just shaking.
What a memory. That must have been awesome.
Unbelievable. I still today, I got people come to shows, and they when they tore the building down, they sold the seats, the backs to the seats.
Oh, really?
And people bring the seat backs, and you sign them, from WrestleMania.
That's awesome.
People pay like crazy money to get those seats,
Wow.
And then we sign them.
That's shows. Cool.
Oh, it's so nuts.
That's awesome. Now, one of my matches that I loved with you was when you beat Mr. Perfect at WrestleMania. You flung him, and then he hit the post.
Yes, WrestleMania 6. Yeah, that was a wild day. I was sick as a dog. I had some kind of bug, 48-hour flu or something. I was sick as a dog, laying on the floor before the match in the dressing room, just laying there. And then about a half hour before the match, I got up and started trying to stretch and move around a little bit and everything, and went in the ring and just started trying not to think about it. And after about 15, 20 minutes, and I was sweating in the ring and everything, it's like the fever broke. And I was coming out of the sickness, and I just kept going, and then boom, boom, boom. And Kurt was just so easy to have a match with. And we had a great chemistry. It was so much fun with him. We just had fun out there. We didn't have to sit around for hours and try to, choreograph out things to do and everything. We just went in there and had fun, did what we knew how to do. And that's what really it was all about in our business, going out there, having fun, being in front of all those people. And they're just, 1 minute they're cheering, 1 minute they're booing, you got them going up and down and all around, and that's the real gift that of being able to really know our business, is to be able to control 72,000 people, just control them, like make them do whatever you want out there in the crowd. And it's so much fun to be able to that control.
I bet it's like a natural drug, huh?
It is, man. I'm telling you, it was like a drug. You just like, I want more of this, man. I want more. And so Kurt and I had great, and then it sucked that I had that accident and I didn't get to get the belt.
Yeah.
And, really, they were going to groom me for the heavyweight title.
Oh, heavyweight, not the IC?
If I'd have got the 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 Intercontinental Belt in 1990 at SummerSlam like I was supposed to, and in like 91, one ish, 92, probably after Yokozuna had the belt, then I would have got it,
Oh wow.
and it would have been probably Brett, me, and I had been in that part of the picture there, and then after the Attitude Era and all that followed, but there was that little window in there where he's lucky he got scooped in there. I got put out. He stepped in there and wound up getting the belt for a while, and he did a great job and stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
God works in mysterious ways, Brutus. Sometimes we're destined for something, but God has a different plan, and I'm sure I don't know like what it did for you during the accident spiritually or whatever, being on the brink of death, but I'm sure it definitely worked inside you somehow in some way. And just uh, I'm grateful that you're still here because you're able to tell these stories and just to live and just use your platform for good, and I
right.
noticed your tattoo says fear no evil, like God, like, or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah. I
And
fear no.
yeah,
Like
that's the God, that's God's, like, fear no evil. God's got you type of thing. And
I tattooed grateful on my arm just so I always remember, never forget to be grateful, grateful
yeah,
every day.
and I think people in the world today have forgotten a lot of that, and because like for us guys, like your wrestling era, the golden and the attitude era, I think is the greatest ever. And I'm just grateful for a lot of the stuff you all did for us, and just your stories, like because you guys are human. Like to us, you seem superhuman at the time, but you're humans, and just to hear your journey. Like I've gotten to, I've watched some of your stuff before this just to kind of refresh my memory, and just and I'm just really grateful to have you here. Like and I give this all praise to God for this because you know like you, I've lost both of my parents a long time ago as well, and I've lost all my family. All my family's gone. So to see your life today, and you got the love of your life next to you, it truly is a blessing. It gives me hope to hopefully find someone too one day. Not and just in general, like we all struggle. We're not perfect human beings, but we try
she,
to do the good things. What's that?
she's my best friend.
That's
And I
cool.
told her she's from Boston, and the way she was raised
That's the only flaw of her so far. It seems like.
in the neighborhood. She came out of some real tough neighborhoods, man. There was car bombings and drive-by shootings and stuff.
Oh, I bet.
Neighborhoods where she came from, and I lived in a neighborhood where the my my best friend lived down the street. His father was the governor's campaign manager, so the
Oh wow,
governor of Florida used to eat dinner 2 blocks from my house at least a couple times a week, and
that's cool.
we had Secret Service, we had state police, we had all kind of stuff.
That's cool. I can't beat that, man. What was like living in Boston compared to Florida? That had to be cold, brutal.
She was a warrior. She had an apartment. She'd have the window open, and it was like 20 below zero out. And man, it'd be so breathing steam come out. I was like, can we close the window? No.
Now so when I watched The Dark Side of the Ring and this came up, your reaction has me cracking up still right now thinking of it. Like this hot lady, what? Like it was just your reaction in the show was hilarious.
It turned out pretty good. The dark
Oh
side,
yeah.
that how good.
Now, and
You know,
speaking of reactions, some of my buddies text me. They wanted me to ask you, like, for your W. I know I'm jumping around here. We'll get back to the SummerSlam Zeus, but some of my buddies wanted me to ask your reaction to some of the gimmicks that they were trying to put you through in WCW. Like, they just kind of want to know, like, did he like think what a bunch of idiots, or like what the f were they thinking, type of thing? If you can just kind of go through the gimmicks on that.
well, in 1990. Vince illegally trademarked and unknowingly to me trademarked the name Brutus Beefcake.
Hmm.
And so when Hogan and I left in late 93 after WrestleMania, we went to Florida to start filming Thunder in Paradise, a movie, and then
I remember that
20
movie.
episodes of a TV show at Disney. And when I went to try to use my name, I got these cease and desist letters from WWF telling me I couldn't use the name Brutus Beefcake.
Hmm.
So that was a quandary. I didn't know what to do with it. I wound up trying to actually finding a trademark attorney, and the guy, found out the story, and Vince, illegally trademarked it, but it doesn't matter. Once it's done, it's done. And then trying to get it undone is the legal system. And when you, Vince McMahon, and you're a billionaire, you own the legal system.
Yeah.
So they're fighting the legal system. It's not the good fight. My lawyer finally told me, look, we got a chance here. They said they'd sign off on us. They won't sue us if we don't stop suing them. So that's what I had to do. We signed off on me. I signed off on them. And eventually the trademark ran out in 99. And after the Disciple thing, basically it reverted back to me, the Brutus.
Oh, good.
And so then I was able to start touring on the indie circuit as Brutus Beefcake again.
Oh,
And
cool.
they couldn't do anything about it. And then, it was still like 15 years before they even called me back to even do anything and, get some royalties money.
Oh, okay.
But
You
now-
know what sucks about that is, now, can I ask you, do you guys get anything for being a Hall of Famer? Because a lot of us, man, I know you guys are independent contractors, but they should have like a health plan for you guys or something, because you guys put your bodies. No, I'm just saying there should have been something.
Oh, well, half the guys have all died poor and
Yeah.
and
It's
everything.
bad.
And because here's the thing, we were on the road in the 80s, early 90s, touring 40 something states, brother, which means you had to have a CPA and you had to file 40 different state income taxes every year. So your CPA cost you 10,000 or more a year just for them to try to keep up with all these taxes. And guys didn't do it. They didn't have the money or whatever to stay on top of it. Everybody got behind on the income tax deal, lost all their, never had any money. Vince never had anybody to help us figure out how to invest or save their money. No insurance. No. So all these guys wound up poor, broke, no insurance, and
Yeah.
everything.
It's kind of sad, man. It's ridiculous. I guess that's why he's not in the business anymore.
What's that?
I guess that's why he's not in the business anymore. Karma kind of caught up to him,
Poop.
He's
Another poop
a
story.
wild man. Yeah, he's a poop. Another poop story.
Oh, I would love to hear that one.
No.
I wasn't there for that one, but
It's okay. I'd still like to hear about it if you know about it more. But so
Legion of Doom gave Vince what did they call their finish when they?
Oh yeah, where he puts him on top of the shoulders and comes and closes.
They did that to Vince in one of the strip bars in Las Vegas. We were all
who did it? I forget who it was.
And Hawk and Animal. They got Vince up, and Hawk jumped up on top of a pool table, and then jumped off, and Vince and all the boys kind of helped catch him, and everybody fell down, and it was like 10 guys that are all over them. It was a pretty insane scene. Actually, but pretty fun that night. We were all having a good time in the bar drinking and raising hell, and he was like one of the boys that night. But those times were very few and far between.
Was he kind of what he seemed to be on TV? That persona a little bit? Was he kind of
Yeah, you know, he was the boss. He was.
yeah.
He was. He's from Connecticut. He's from that area in Greenwich, Connecticut. Um, his McMahon, you know, crest. He has a crest, and he, you know, they feel like they're kind of better than you, better than
Kind
me.
of like Triple H's first character?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's just the way Vince was. He was just entitled. You know, his dad was a very well liked, very powerful man. A lot of friends, a lot of power. He was a boxing promoter in New York City before the wrestling, and then moved into the wrestling. And so Vince McMahon Sr. was just real a big deal, you know, in New York, and you know, being a part of being able to perform in Madison Square Gardens. You know, can't give Vince enough, you know,
For sure.
for giving me the opportunity, recognizing some a talent, and giving me the chance to go out and showcase my abilities. And once I got a chance to showcase my abilities, by boom, you know, then things
Yeah.
went great.
That's awesome. How was it to perform at Madison Square Garden, Brutus?
Well, it was like 22,000. It wasn't super big. We did a lot of bigger arenas, and
But
then
still that
oh,
history of Madison Square
uh,
Garden.
below the garden, even they had another felt. It's called the Felt Forum. There'd be 10,000 people in the Felt Forum watching a big screen closed circuit of the matches going up right above them. Wrestling was so popular, it was crazy. Yeah, the Garden is worldwide. You know, the people who
Oh yeah.
symphonies and the singers and the rock and roll bands and everything. When you tour the world, when you play Madison, you're booked in Madison Square Gardens in New York City, brother, then you have made it to the big time.
Yes, sir.
Period.
And you
And
made it, baby. You made it.
you're the, yeah,
You got to
you
perform and do it, man.
and we did. I did so many Madison Square Garden shows. Greg and I had some great matches. I had a match with One Man Gang there one time. Was like it was. I still got it here. I watched it not too long ago. It's crazy good. And One Man Gang, 400 plus pounds, big giant. You know me, and we tore the house down. Boom! I go over the top. I got him in the sleeper. We go over the top rope to the floor. Somehow he didn't kill me or land on me or nothing. Got back up, fighting. We fought all the way out back to the dressing room, and the crowd was standing on their chairs, going out of their minds. It's like you don't ever see that kind of response hardly
Yeah,
in
the
sport.
fan difference today compared to your all's era is awful. It just seems not as fun, and because I go to shows here and there now live from compared to when I was a kid, man. Like we were all going nuts as like when I back in the day. Now it's kind of like everybody's so sensitive, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's a different. Times have changed. I was just great. You know, we were rock stars in the '80s, man. We
You
were
were,
touring
man.
VH1, MTV. We're featured. I was on Saturday night's main events,
Oh yeah, I
more
watched those.
main event shows, me personally, than anybody in the company, because my ratings were so high that Dick Ebersol, the head for CBS or for NBC there, Dick Ebersol loved me, so they had me on Saturday night's main events like almost every week for like a year, and that was that was hard work, and those were some really tough matches, but really good matches, and I mean it was just an amazing time to be on, like being on Saturday night on NBC.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, you know.
11:30 at night. I remember, man. Me and my dad would tune in, and we'd go. My dad was a huge wrestling fan. He's my hero, but he got me into wrestling. Like he used to get, so before me, he was in the Vietnam. He was in the military, and he used to get kicked out because he used to always try to help the baby face because he didn't. He hated how the baby face was always getting ganged up on, and they started kicking him out of arenas and putting his picture up. Don't let this guy in. And
You're trying to jump in the ring, right?
yeah, he did. No, yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, my dad was crazy.
Good story.
Well, it's just I'm so blessed that the good Lord gave me genetically and just mentally and physically everything. Just gave me everything, all the tools, and I was able to put it together and make it work. And
Yeah,
then
I'm happy for you.
the accident took my legs out, basically from underneath me, and I was on death's door. And that little guardian angel, that I always said I had a guardian angel. That little guardian angel was right there, and he pulled me back. Nope, St. Michael, you ain't getting beefcake yet. Ain't
That's
his
right.
time.
Beefcake's got more to do yet. Beefcake's got more to do yet.
Yeah, I gotta find the love of my life.
Hey, and you did, man, and it was all, I guess in the way it was all worth it, right? All the
Absolutely.
pain and
I would
suffering and
do it all again. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things like the future is like a river, and it branches off. This theory of branch theory, boom, a different future. Certain things that happen. You could have went this way. You could have went that. The accident didn't happen. And where would I have been? And things that who knows? All I know is that the way it turned out, I found the love of my life. I'm happy. We have a nice, great place to live. We have great food, great friends. We do whatever we want, whenever we want. And I'm not super rich. Don't need to be.
you don't you
I
know
just have,
you, you know what? Can I say something real quick to that? When people say rich, it bothers me because rich ain't about money. Rich
it's
is
not.
about having what you just explained, a love of your life, great friends, you know, just enjoying each and every day to the fullest and having a good time. It's not about what you don't like, material stuff. People, I'm going to steal a line from The Rock. You can shine that material stuff up real nice and shiny, turn that shit, some of it sideways and stick it straight up your candy asses. That's what you can do with the material stuff because
It's no.
it's more, it's what you're saying. And I pray for you and Hawk to kind of reunite your brotherhood because, I don't know the story or whatever, but it's probably pettiness that's keeping or hurt feelings or keeping that situation. You know what? I hope, he got baptized recently and I really hope he leans into that grace and whatever it is that's keeping you two apart right now.
it's,
I really
it's
pray that you
it'll
guys
happen.
unite if it's meant to be in God's will, if it's God's will.
But I'm all good. I've got no regrets.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got,
yeah.
and I'm happy the way things turned out. I'm not I'm not bitter. I'm not.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not saying you are. I'm just
To travel the world, and it's just like I just came. I was up in Canada, up in Edmonton, and when everybody who comes up and says Brutus, I when I when we had a Halloween thing, I was you, man, or I had the thing, and when I was growing up, I wanted to be you, and everybody say, I just wanted to be you. You were we loved you, and you were our favorite and everything, and I'm just like going, God, just how lucky can a man be to be able to do all this fun stuff and have touched so many people's lives
you
in
have.
a
You really have. You really have. And I mean, look, I have a damn toy of you still as an adult man.
God.
I got one of those.
They
I
got,
don't
they've made so many of them now. I can't even keep track of them all. Oh my God, it's
Oh yeah.
crazy.
Well, I only like those. Those are the ones I had as a kid, and it ticked me off because my mom gave them away, like without even I knowing. I was like,
know.
oh man, that kept me out of trouble because I used to do. So I loved like Bobby Heaton, Gorilla Monsoon, Gordon Soley's, the Mean Jeans, and I would pretend being those guys as you guys are coming out to the ring and like busting up King Kong Bundy and the Iron Sheik right here, and like Brutus is like boom boom baby up on the ropes, just doing his little shimmy that you did, and it was just I don't know, it just kept me out of trouble as a kid, and I have so many great memories. and especially SummerSlam. I love the SummerSlam match with you and Hogan versus Zeus, which is Tiny Lester. He actually lived not too far from my house when I lived in California, and I met him just before he passed away, which was crazy.
Oh, Tiny. I knew Tiny for a call. He worked with us at WCW a bunch.
Oh, did he?
And stuff. And yeah, look, here's this is Missy has her wrestling ring and all. She's
I'd like to see that match. I'd like to see Missy versus Hogan. That'd be a match I'd like to see. WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'd put my money on Missy.
there you go. She's great. But yeah, it's all good, man. It's
Yeah, I know. I just like to. I'm just having fun.
Just being able to and kids and stuff and do work, for law enforcement work with charity, going to schools and talking to kids.
Oh,
and
good.
Stuff.
Do you ever do veteran stuff, Brutus? Us veterans would love. Do you ever do anything with the veterans? Because we'd love to have you out at stuff. And
I would love to. If somebody would hook me up with one of the companies that one of the things, I would more than gladly be a part of that. For Tunnels to Towers or whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Because I did a lot of law enforcement stuff in the Marine Corps and everything. Too.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, all the charity stuff. I'm an honorary wish kid from the accident.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah, man. Yeah, they sent me the pin, the little golden pin thing to keep in the letter and everything.
That's awesome. You should get John Cena to come out and make your wish a dream. Yeah, because he does so many Make-A-Wish dreams. John Cena. I was just kind of kidding.
Wouldn't see him even if he came.
Yeah, we were doing them
I said,
before he started.
we wouldn't be able to see him.
Oh yeah, that's true. Good call, Missy. Now, you were with Hogan for the WrestleMania where he came out for Yokozuna, right? When Hogan had the black eye and all that stuff. Now, was that a work or was that real? Like his black eye?
Oh, he had fractured skull.
Oh, he really did.
Yeah, we were riding wave runners out off Clearwater Beach by where he lived out there.
Yeah.
And it was rough, and he was riding one of my wave runners, and I told him not to stand up and try. It was too rough. Not to try to stand up. It's too dangerous. Well, he tried to stand up. Big wave. The wave runner spun around in midair and hit him in the head here.
Oh man!
Right in his eye orbit. Nearly took his eyeball out. And we had to go to the hospital and stuff. And then 2 days later was WrestleMania. So we show up in the day before out there in Las Vegas. And now we got to make up some story about how that Macho Man and everything jumped us when we came out of the casino. And they brother, I jumped on it. And told we had to convince the people that he was okay. That this was just his eyeball was blood red. You could see his eyeball.
Yeah, for sure.
But we convinced him that it was just like makeup and it wasn't really anything bad. Yeah, he had to wrestle that match. If you notice, really watch the match, he doesn't do a hell of a lot in the match. I do the whole match.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything, but he did have a fracture right here, stuff, and so yeah. It was crazy just trying to convince the what do you call it,
the promoters or whoever ran the
had the boxing
people, right?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
the commission. Yeah, I don't know if they still have the wrestling commission, but in the old days they had all these commissions. New York, you always had, but it was a good thing. They were checking everybody's blood pressure and stuff every night.
Oh, good.
And stuff. So it was good to get that kind of stuff, be monitored. As much traveling and amongst, sometimes we wouldn't sleep for days almost with all the traveling and the shows and this and that. And, you always got your blood pressure checked. You could always see a doctor's, and doctors taking care of us.
I bet Bret Hart hated the way he had to lose the belt at that WrestleMania when Hogan came out and won it against Yokozuna.
I don't even remember that match, but it's like
Well, no,
I remember
didn't Hogan
that.
win take home the world title at that WrestleMania
No,
at the end?
because we were leaving. So, I mean, technically, we won the tag match. We should have had the tag belts,
Yeah.
but they reversed the decision, and so Money Inc. had the tag belts, and
Okay.
then Hogan won the world title, but then they had to like reverse that and leave it with Yoko because it wouldn't do any
Yoko.
good for them to give him the title because we were leaving the territory. We're going to Florida to make movies, do TV shows and stuff. I'm there driving speedboats 70, 80, 85 miles an hour.
And this is after your accident, right?
Yeah.
And this is
Doing,
after your boating accident.
I've been doing all kind of. I'm doing stunts, water stunts, driving stunts, motorcycle stunts, underwater diving stuff. I did everything for Hogan.
Good
So
for you, living the dream, living the life. Whether he had his face reconstructed.
I did all the stunts, everything.
That's awesome. You're the man. As Ric Flair would say, "You the man, Brutus." Woo!
So, working with the Navy SEALs, we did 2 Navy SEAL movies. Carl Weathers, bunch of all kinds of stuff. Shannon Tweed, Marty
Which
Cove.
one? What's the name of those?
Those were called Shadow Warriors 1 and 2. We did for TNT. You got to check sometime if you can. If you got somebody that's got some internet stuff, you might be able to find it on the internet.
Yeah, I kind of want to see that. Carl Weathers, you and Hogan, man, that'd be sweet.
Called Shadow Warriors. Well, he was the main character with those guys, and I'm playing like 10 parts. I'm like here, there. I'm running through frame. I'm getting blown up.
That's okay. I did the same stuff.
Grenades.
I was never the main character either. I was always the smaller role guy too, to play different characters. It's all right.
Well, hey, the stunt guys get to have all the fun. So
yes, sir.
That's
So what would you tell people today, like people that watched you growing up to this day, that are just battling everyday life, taking care of their families, keep grinding, keep going, right?
you can't give up because things are hard. You got to work. You want stuff, you got to work for it. You got to bust ass. You want to get, and if you want the good stuff, you got to work twice as hard. Nobody's giving you nothing out there. Nobody's giving anybody anything. You got to fight, and you got to claw and scratch and do whatever it takes, and put the time in out there. And that's because that's what I did, and I wouldn't change it for anything. I love it being a underdog and being able to climb to the top of the ladder and being up on the top, looking around, going, yeah, okay, made it.
Any way to bring back the barbershop to WWE in this modern era?
Yeah, no. The barbershop could exist at any time,
I
any
agree.
place, I'm a commissioner at Boca Raton Championship Wrestling. And
that's right. I remember talking to you. I'm glad you brought that up. That's Boca Raton. Okay, so you're the commissioner.
We might be having a barbershop, do some barbershop stuff. Well, Vince had to have Sid Vicious destroy my barbershop.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was.
I remember the one too with Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I was getting too popular, brother. Too popular. They had to strip my legs out from under me again. Take it away. It's like, oh well. Hey, I'll just else. Boom, boom,
boom. When do you have an event coming up for your Boca Raton wrestling one?
Sunday, May 19th. School's out.
Yeah, school's out. Sunday, May 19th. You can go on Boca Raton Championship Wrestling on the internet. Look it up.
And at Meisner Park.
Meisner Park, yeah, in Boca Raton.
Meisner Park.
Do shows like every other month or so, sometimes every couple months.
And they are going to do a barbershop.
And we are going to do
You're going to do a barbershop.
We're doing a barbershop.
That's sick. Also, I wanted to say, as the disciple, Brutus, you were shredded like crazy, bro. What was your diet for when you did that?
There, 40-something years old. I was like 44 years old, 43, 44 years old.
Yeah, but you were so shredded, bro.
Body fat, 5%, 6% body fat, 30-inch waist.
What was your diet?
I was on that. I was doing the Atkins thing. I was doing a all protein, high protein, high fat, zero carbs, low carbs, no breads, potatoes, rice, no stuff like that. All meat, fish, chicken,
Okay.
eggs, stuff like that.
No homo, bro, but dude, you were the man, bro. Like that was
My buddy, I went to see an old friend today, and he's put on a part that it was like the Zeus match. Before the Zeus match, we're doing interviews, and he showed me a picture of me and Hogan. He says, "Brutus, I hate to tell you, but you're bigger than Hogan in these pictures."
and you were ripped more too. Like you were shredded, bro.
You're bigger than Hogan. I go, just don't tell anybody. I'll get all bent out of shape.
Oh well. But you were shredded, bro. Like you looked like what Hollywood does for the actors these days. They put that IG on them, but you were legit though.
Hey, it's like I said, God blessed me with just amazing genetics. My mom, my dad, and it was just up to me how far I wanted to take it. But before I did the Disciple, WCW basically said, okay, well, we can't repackage Beefcake up, because that was before I got my name back, and I'd done the Zodiac because that was a character in one of Hogan's movies, and
Oh, okay.
put me in the Dungeon of Doom, and I'm the Zodiac, and I'm doing that thing and having a blast.
And the man with no name. Like, what was your reaction to all these stupid gimmicks that they were telling you at WCW? They must have been a bunch of idiots over there. Like, was Bischoff? Did you like Bischoff?
I was just trying to take home a paycheck, brother.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Late for dinner, I don't care. If I was, I got to take care of my family. I got.
Oh no, I'm not clowning you. I'm just meaning they had to be a bunch of idiots to not give you something because you were a worker, bro.
Yeah, well, Eric Bischoff didn't like me, hated my guts.
Still does.
And it still does. And
you can tell by the way he talked about you on the dark side of the ring.
He goes on, yeah. He goes, but
that was
the best interview I've seen.
Yeah, but he was just very smug, though. He was smug the way he kind of just talked about you, though.
He goes on podcasts and starts just talking about me and dogging me and all kind of bullshit. Why? I have no idea. But
because he's a hater,
he is the man who single-handedly ruined the WCW, shut down the whole territory when there was the biggest and best territory going in the world, and things were going fantastic. And within 2 years, took the company from making the bazillions of dollars to out of business. I mean, he does get he's got to live with that too.
He's a con man from back in the day.
Yeah, him and Jason Hervey, him and his buddy Jason Hervey, they sold more TV stuff to people, got their money, promised them television shows and this and that, and nothing ever happened. It was never. You'd ever seen a great big production, Eric Bischoff production that made any money? No. All they did was promise people, take their money, and then they'd say, "Oh well, sorry. Well, the studios, they didn't want it because of this or that,
Thanks for your investment.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that $1 million. But that's the way a cookie crumbles. And then they'd be out the door, down to the next person.
Was Vince Russo that bad too?
Yeah, big time. He's right there with them.
Yeah. Well, hey, I want to say this before you go. When you're in WO, you're in WO for life.
Keep going. We got time.
You do? Okay. Hey, if you got time, I got time because I'm enjoying myself.
I'm enjoying myself too, and I'm on the sidelines. So.
Well, you could join us, Missy, if you want.
I got no makeup on. That's it. That's all you get.
Get on in here if you want.
That's it. There I am. That's me.
Well, I like that, really.
I love your Hall of Fame ring, Brutus. That's so cool. Now, do they actually give you real rings too, or are they?
No, this is the skeleton of the original ring. The original ring, nothing like this. Missy took it to this little old guy, a little old man. He's from like Romania. Barely he didn't speak any English. Him and his wife, they have a jewelry store.
Crown Jewelers.
And took it over there and asked him. We asked him if he could do anything with it, and he looked at it and he shook his head and he said, "It's junk."
Figures.
It's junk, you know. So then Missy
WWE is so cheap.
took it back to him. He sent it to his brother in New York, who's also a jeweler in the diamond district up there and works with diamonds. So he took this goofy black crappy stone that was useless, worthless, out and put all diamonds in. And then the old man here where I live made the WWE logo on top of the diamonds. They actually re-dipped the ring in real gold and made it.
Well, it is real gold. It's 10-karat gold, but they yeah.
But they made it just look 10,000 times better.
I do. I like your version better than when I see them on other people. I'm like, because I was like, dang, is that actually what they gave you? It seems like a nicer one than everybody else. Yeah. But now that you told me the story, no wonder.
That's It was. Sometimes I would be almost ashamed.
You lost a piece of gold.
The first 12 hours I was wearing it, part of the ring fell out. Gold that was in the ring.
Doesn't surprise me with WWE.
Fell out. It was. I mean, really, when you looked at the ring and you really looked at it, you're like, oh, this. They probably bought 30 of these rings for the Hall of Fame.
They got it from Temu.
20 of these rings,
from
all
Temu,
all the same, and probably cost $150 a piece.
The way they treat you guys who make them all the money, it's so disgusting. To be honest, I'm not trying to bash on the company that gave you opportunities, but
2005 they were buying these nice rings by spending at least $5,000 with diamonds and stones and real gold and really make. And then I think some of the guys, after you get to Hall of Fame and then you're not working anymore. Next thing you know, guys are broke. Guys could get $10,000 for that ring. They were selling their rings so they could survive.
That's right.
That's their choice.
So they got pissed. They're like, oh man, they're selling the rings now. We don't want to give them these good rings anymore because the guys are selling them, and so.
Heaven forbid if they try to sell something to survive. Like, I don't want to.
I'm still grateful to Vince.
I hear you. I'm not trying to bash the man. It's just something. Take care of your people who make you money.
Vision, and he made it happen. And
he did.
But he made it happen because he had a bunch of shitload of guys like Don Morocco and Roddy Piper and Junkyard Dog and
can you tell a Junkyard Dog story? I love the Junkyard Dog. You have any Junkyard Dog stories?
Okay. Well,
I love the Junkyard
Dog. We worked Australia, and oh my God! Well, he liked smoking pot and everything. So we were in Australia, and we had like 2 days left in the tour, and we were in Tasmania, and it's like I got this bag of pot from somebody, and it's like we had this big room, for hanging out, so a bunch of the boys, and so it's like I sat down and rolled like 10 joints, and we just sat there in this room and just smoked joint after joint after joint. Nobody even could get up out of their chair, and where everybody was passed out in the room. And then we had to go home the next day. It was like, oh my God, what happened? What did we do? And me and Piper had like a Cadillac, and so me and Dog were with him, and Piper's from Oregon, and he lived there and stuff. He had a farm, and so he had some black like hash, and so he gave me a chunk and Dog a chunk, and we stuck in their lips like it was dip. And so he had a big chunk, and all three of us had a big chunk, and we're driving down the road in New Jersey, man. And about a half hour later, Dog's in the back seat just sawing logs. Piper and we were just laughing. We can't stop laughing. Finally, we had to wake him up, and before we got to the town and stuff, and we were all just so blasted off this black hash. We had so much fun. Everybody's like, "What's going on with them guys?" We just be laughing.
I would have loved to seen the place you guys went to eat at after that too.
We just had so much fun. We just, we didn't
See, that's what I love. That's what I love is hear the stories about just you guys having a good time afterwards. Like I mean, people like Piper, like you said, just I can't imagine just being out having a good time with him. He must have been awesome. Now, did you hang out with Flair a lot too?
I never hung out with Flair.
Tell him what I call him.
She calls him Dick Hair.
Take care.
Flair's not on the beefcake team beefcake. He's a hater. Always has. Knocked the shit out of me. Like you said, always said, yeah, beefcake, he don't belong. He didn't do nothing. Hogan did everything, blah, blah, blah,
No, he's one of those.
Everybody says, you have any regrets? I said, yeah, my only regret is that I didn't get to wrestle Flair, so I could have kicked the shit out of him all over the fucking ring, inside, outside, and upside down, and just had my way with him, because I surely would have, not shoulda, coulda, wish, but it's all good. Everything's cool.
Yeah.
Deal. 27-time world champion. Yeah, he was the world champion for 2 days. He won the belt on Friday and then lost it on Sunday. That counts as being world champion. Then he did that 25 times. 25-time world champion Ric Flair. Guys like Terry Funk and
dude, I love. Oh, you got Terry Funk's story. I love Terry Funk.
Race. Now, you want a guy that's a wrestler and a gentleman and an unbelievable guy. Harley Race.
Harley Race.
Unbelievable. I had a match with Harley, with Monsoon and Bobby Heenan, and Jesse, all the commentator and stuff, and I wouldn't, I was friends with Harley and everything, but I hadn't worked with him before, and man, Harley was flying over the top rope and to the floor, and just he was making me look like King Kong in the ring. Young guy, Brutus Beefcake, and I never forgot that. I was always like, wow, I commanded that kind of respect that he paid on me forward, putting the young guy over. He's just 15-time world champion for 20 fucking years, and for him to put me over on the big TV show, on the big stuff, with all these people and everything, and just make me look fantastic and everything. We just had an unbelievable match, and it was just like, for me, it was like, man, that commanding that kind of respect for a guy like Harley Race made my heart just like unbelievable. Like
I can see it in you. I love it. Actually, the same time I watched your Dark Side of the Ring, I watched Harley Race's after that, and everybody that spoke of Harley Race spoke like what a great man he was, like as a wrestler, and just we all have our issues, and none of us are perfect, but like, would you put him on your Mount Rushmore of wrestlers?
Absolutely. Harley.
Who do you have, by the way? Who's your Mount Rushmore?
Oh, geez, I don't know. Me and Kurt had just fantastic matches. We could do.
So it's 4 people on Mount Rushmore. So
4.
You, Kurt Hennig.
Kurt.
Harley Race.
Jeez. Oh,
would you put Hogan on there?
I don't think so.
No. Macho? What about, hey, you worked with Macho Man Randy Savage, right?
Randy and I had some really, really good matches. I actually had to step in for Hulk a couple times in main events around. I did in the Indianapolis in the Hoosier Dome one time. He couldn't be there. I don't know what had happened, and then so they just stuck me in there, and it was like, okay, here's 25,000 tickets sold to see Hulk and Macho Man, and now all of a sudden it's Hulk and it's Macho Man and Beefcake, and they didn't have a single person, complain, say they want their money back. The whole place was going crazy.
funny.
during
I
our
like
match
that.
and after our match, and everybody came up and said, "Man, oh my God, that was just like, people didn't even care that Hogan wasn't there because you guys just tore down the house. What you did." I said, just Randy had a good night, and so I was like, we had a crazy.
Tell him the story about Hawaii when you flashed your ass to Miss
Oh my
Elizabeth.
God.
Oh yeah, come on now, Brutus. Let's go.
Jealous
Come
guy.
on.
So
Kurt,
jealous.
Kurt was there with his wife. We were all there.
Hawaii.
Beefcake. I used to wear like tea bags. Beefcake had the beefcakes out.
Hey, if you got it, rock it, brother.
Even in Hawaii. So I'm in the beach. I come walking down. Boom, boom. Macho's sitting there with Elizabeth. Kurt's got his wife. I walk down. Boom, boom, boom. Something. I didn't even think about it. I bent over to pick something up and turned around, and there's Randy and Liz right behind where I was standing. Randy turned purple. Steam was rolling out of his ears. He grabbed Liz up. He snatched her up. He was yelling, screaming about me bending over in front of her, and dragged her right off the beach. And his wife, they're all laughing. Everybody's laughing. They thought everybody knew it was just harmless. Nobody meant nothing by it. It's just me, Beefcake, being Beefcake on the beach, and he turned it into a big uproar. But 10 minutes later, nobody cared. Nobody, we didn't miss him a bit. We were having a ball.
Good. That's awesome. Man, I could listen to these stories all day. You got one that not many people know about?
Well, probably Greg's wedding. Got married on the beach here in Florida, in what's that beach called? Bella Indian Rocks, like Indian Reddington. He got married on the beach, and in his wedding, I'm in a tea bag at his wedding. He's showing the best. Way. He's in a bathing suit. His wife's in a bathing suit, and another Johnny Green. Johnny Green was there. Me and who else was it? Me and Johnny Green. What was anybody else there? We're all, and I'm in a tea bag.
And Greg was mad because he wanted to know why he had to wear a diaper.
And Greg wore this white bathing suit. Looked like he's wearing a diaper. Beefcake's out full for all the in the wedding,
Good thing we weren't together then.
And we just had a blast, and it's like those pictures are on my phone still. I think.
That's awesome.
And speaking of Greg,
what?
Where do you and Greg stand today?
Yeah, Greg. I haven't seen him since this occasion. He went on a podcast and called Missy a "See you next Tuesday."
Oh wow!
Yeah, well, out of the blue, I don't know. Well, his wife, she.
The Dream Team has had a falling out.
Yeah, she went off the rails.
That's it.
She went off the rails.
The Dream Team has had a falling out.
Hey, speaking of Dream Team, do you have that? You guys should have copyrighted that because Jordan and all them should owe you guys some money. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead with what you were going to say. I'm sorry.
Sorry, but the Dream Team has had a falling out.
Well, that's so. Why are people getting so many hurt feelings over? Like, are they that jealous and bitter that you found a good woman that you love and loves you?
They are horrified to see other people happy, having a good time, and then
but I don't understand
so much. She does so much for me. She works out all the logistics and takes all these phone calls and talks to all these promoters.
Yeah, she dealt with my ass. I mean,
she does so. She handles them so well, and there's so much jealousy. I can't believe when I tell her.
Well, that's crazy.
I said, it's a good thing. I said, the people see what you do, see the way you look, see our life and everything, and they can't stand it. They see
why though? Like if you're a brother, you should be happy for your brother. I don't get that. I'm not married, but most of my brothers I've been born and raised with, they're all happy, and I'm happy for them. they're blessed. They have a wife and children, and I just can't understand that doesn't make sense to me, Brutus.
No, it doesn't. But it's there's a lot of evil. I put this on my arm. I fear no evil. There's so much evil in the world.
There
I mean,
is.
and Jesus, you can't turn the news on for 5 minutes. It's somebody getting killed, somebody getting mugged, somebody getting shot, somebody getting knifed, somebody this, that, somebody getting blown up.
Yeah.
And there's just so much evil.
There
People
is. We're
just
in a fight of good versus evil, not Republican or Democrat, but this is a fight of good versus evil.
Good versus evil,
Oh
yes,
my God.
100%.
They have lost their minds.
Not Democrat, Republican, just
good and evil.
Good
Yeah.
versus evil. Yep. And in order for evil to prevail is for good men to do nothing like us. And good men like us, we have to stand together and fight this evil. And just know, I know you don't know me. You might, think I'm just someone because you're like a childhood like person I loved as a kid. But just know you got a brother here. It's real and authentic. And man, I hope to develop a friendship with you guys, not with I'm not looking to gain anything by you or nothing. Like I'm grateful you came on the show, but just know, maybe one day we can have a drink together and we can exchange stories and you can see.
Where are you based out? Where are you based out?
I'm Newport Richie.
Oh, that's where you are now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, geez. Well, yeah. Make the trip down to Boca Raton and hang out. We got a great territory.
You'd love the show.
Great guys. Our show is like it's like in the 80s. We got a 7-foot tall giant. We got a Samoan kid. I got all kind of talent. Little Mexican guy dances out there.
Yeah.
We got great talent.
Kerry Morton.
A little territory.
Kerry Morton. Ricky Morton's son.
We got.
Oh, really?
That tavern.
And it's next Sunday?
Yes.
Yep.
You want to come, let us know. We'll get you a ticket. You can come. Be there, be square. You message me.
Okay. All right. I'll have to definitely look to see because that would be awesome. And I would just love to just talk to you because I've been fighting this evil corruption and it's been tough doing it it feels like you're alone. But to see, like I said, to have someone like you who's an inspiration in a way of the things you've overcome as well, because God doesn't give us anything we can't handle,
Amen.
and right now God's got us here for a reason. Brutus, he kept you alive for a reason. In this time in history, we're living in biblical times and greatest times in world history. And I'm grateful to be here. And I'm grateful that I got to talk to you today. And it's been truly a blessing.
Oh, we appreciate it, man. Really do. And hey, I didn't realize you were that close. Shoot. Yeah. You got to come down to Boca Raton.
Or come over here. We'll do something. We can do it. Just message me.
You're not far away. You're just down the road, man.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, do you golf?
No, not really. My neck's getting so bad now I can't.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you. No worries. Well, shoot, yeah, beach. I don't know if I want to do any boating activities with you, but I'll definitely. Just kidding.
If you got a golf cart, Brutus can you can do the 9 holes and drink all the beer.
Oh, I got a brand new golf cart. It's beautiful.
Oh, I'd love to ride on that stuff.
30 miles an hour.
Oh. Okay. I love adventure. I'm adrenaline junkie, so I love it too.
All right, brother. Well, I'm going to say goodbye.
For sure.
Thanks for having Missy and your on your show. And,
God bless. God bless.
Hey, I know more than me, man. I do morning, noon, and night. I got family. I got sisters and stuff. And one of my sisters got cancer, and she's been fighting. Good fight, and we pray for her all day and night and day. And and we just
definitely
do the best we can.
I'll have to send you some stuff that's actually helped with cancer. I'll have to send it to Missy for you guys. Maybe she can try it, and it might help. It's actually helped some other people who've had cancer, and it's actually healed it. But obviously I'm not going to promise anything. I'm not God, but I can definitely send you a lot of things that have helped people who've had cancer that no longer have it. And but yeah, no, I'm so grateful for you, Brutus, and thank you.
You're welcome, brother. You're welcome. Stay in touch. Don't touch that dial. We'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. For life. See you, brother.
Boom, boom, boom.
Take
Boom.
care.
Thank you, Missy, too. Appreciate you. And next time you got to join us, all right?
I
All right.
will for sure. Take care.
Gotta get her.
All right. Take care.
God
Bye.
bless. Bye.
God bless. Everybody, that was Brutus, the barber, beefcake. Holy cow. Can you believe it? He was right here live on this show and in person. Man, so grateful for him and his wife, Missy, to be joining us today. I hope you all enjoyed the show. We're going to definitely try to do more wrestling stuff and things like that. We don't always want to have political stuff, but we just want to just have good people on. We want to have fun and make this show enjoyable. And I hope you guys all enjoyed yourselves. I hope you have a blessed weekend. Maybe I have to make myself way down to Boca Raton, Florida there. I might have to do that. But I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining today. God bless you, and God bless this republic. All the men, we must stand together to fight against evil. The good men have to stand up now. It's time. We got to get in the ring together and fight this evil and take them down and win the world title. All right? Peace out, brothers. See ya.